Hi everyone! Today I will be discussing the strengths and weaknesses of both well-constructed and poorly constructed email messages. In quoting Lehman, the author of the Business Communications textbook, "To speak or write effectively, you must think through what you are trying to say and understand it thoroughly." This is true, especially when getting into electronic communication. Miscommunication is easily a possibility, and you should strive to avoid it at all costs. The email I will be using as an example of a well-written email is from Savvy Business Correspondence. It is regarding the arrival of a company president and inquiring about meeting times to plan the rest of the visit. I chose this email as my well-written email because I felt it was consistent and professional. The subject line was relevant to the message, and it gave insight as to what can be expected. The greeting of the email was also professional, as was the body throughout the email. Enough detail was presented without being too wordy and creating miscommunication. The closing was also professional, and contact information was included, which I feel is very important. Although I feel this email was well written, I did find a few weaknesses. For example, an additional recipient was copied on the email. This may not be an issue of concern, but based on the message, I couldn't link this recipient to the email or really understand why they would need to see it. It is important to remember that when you're copying individuals on an email, especially in the work environment, that you should have a reason, and the recipient should have a reason to receive that message. The information should pertain to them in some way. The only other improvement that I could see to be made with this email is the placement of punctuation to aid in the flow of the email. The email that I have chosen for my poorly written email is from SSW Rules. It's regarding a software installation error. I chose this email to represent a poorly constructed message because it's very informal. The introduction is informal and doesn't have proper punctuation, so it kind of just leaves you hanging. The issue with the software installation isn't stated anywhere in the subject, so it might not even be viewed as important, nor is the error message being described in the message. A quote from the email itself: "I have got this error while installing the team calendar. It doesn't really provide any sufficient information, nor is it grammatically correct. And an attachment is provided, but it can't be viewed, so the reader might not ever get to find out what the error actually is." From personal experience in the workplace, when sending a ticket email to the help desk, the message is typically pretty short in order to have somebody come and give you a hand, but it still should include insight as to what the problem is. On a good note, the closing of the email is formal, and it includes contact information, which I feel is important, but it doesn't match the rest of the message. Lehman stated that the ability to use email communications effectively is essential to success in virtually every career. Even strong emails with well-constructed messages can be miscommunicated. Always remember to use the appropriate amount of detail, be consistently professional, and review your message before sending it off. A quote from Ashley Ellis states that there are not many jobs in any industry that do not require good writing skills, and poor skills may even leave you at a disadvantage when searching for employment. When remembering all of these steps to improve writing skills that will aid you in creating a well-written email, it will also improve electronic communication and even aid you in advancing your career.